All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're tackling one of the biggest, deepest mysteries out there. What exactly is consciousness? But we're not just going to ask the question. We're going to explore it as a legendary philosophical battle over the very nature of your own mind.
So think about this for a second. What if that rich, inner world that you experience every single moment, you know, the warmth of the sun, the taste of your coffee, the feeling of just being you, what if all of it is just an elaborate trick your brain is playing on itself? This one, single, provocative idea, it's at the very heart of the story we're about to tell.
You know, to make this feel real, I want you to try something. This comes from the philosopher John Searle. Go on, just take your right hand and give the skin on your left forearm a little pinch. Did you feel that? That specific, private, internal sensation. Hold on to that feeling for a second.
So, that little sensation you just felt, it actually has a name in philosophy. It's called qualia. It's the subjective quality of an experience. The sharpness of that pinch, the redness of a perfect rose, the sound of a certain note on a piano. It's the what it is like part of consciousness. And for a lot of people, this is the central mystery we need to explain.
And this entire debate, this whole battle over qualia and consciousness, is perfectly captured in the intellectual duel between two philosophical titans, John Searle and Daniel Dennett.
And their positions could not be more different. On one side, you have Searle, who argues that consciousness is a real biological thing. For him, those inner feelings, the qualia, that's the primary data we have to explain. But then Dennett comes back and says, no, it's all an illusion. He claims there are no mysterious inner qualia, just really complex behaviors and brain processes that we happen to completely misinterpret.
Okay, so let's start with John Searle. He really positions himself as the defender of our common sense experience. For him, the reality of our inner world is the only place to begin.
For Searle, the crucial point is this: the feeling of that pinch is the pain. It's not some illusion about the pain. It is the real thing. He sees the brain as a biological machine, and just like stomachs cause digestion, brains cause consciousness. It's just a natural process. So for him, to deny these subjective feelings is to ignore the very thing you're supposed to be studying in the first place.
Now let's flip over to Daniel Dennett, who comes at this with a truly radical alternative. He's basically asking us to consider that our most basic intuition about ourselves might be profoundly wrong.
So, Dennett's big idea is that consciousness isn't some mysterious inner glow, but it's a virtual machine. The easiest way to think about it is like the operating system on your computer. Your brain, that's the hardware, all the physical chips and wires. Consciousness, then, is the software that runs on top of it all, creating this user-friendly illusion of a single unified self that helps us get through the world.
And this is where Dennett's idea gets really wild. Searle, his rival, summed up Dennett's position with this startling claim: that Dennett believes we're all basically philosophical zombies, beings that act perfectly conscious on the outside but have no inner experience at all. And from Dennett's perspective, well, that's all we are. That rich inner feeling, the qualia, it's just part of the program's illusion.
So to fight back against this idea that a program could be a mind, Searle came up with one of the most famous thought experiments in all of modern philosophy, the Chinese room.
Okay, so picture this. Searle, who doesn't know a single word of Chinese, is locked in a room. People slide batches of Chinese symbols under the door. Now he has this enormous rulebook, all in English, that tells him exactly how to match the incoming symbols with other symbols, and then he passes those back out. He gets so good at this, just following the rules, that to anyone outside, he seems like a fluent Chinese speaker, answering their questions perfectly.
But here is the million-dollar question. Does the man in the room actually understand a single word of Chinese? And Searle's answer is an emphatic no. Of course not. He's just shuffling symbols around according to a program. He has zero idea what any of it means.
And this little story illustrates Searle's formal argument perfectly. He says computer programs have syntax. They just follow the rules, like arranging letters correctly. But human minds have semantics. We understand the meaning behind the words. So his conclusion is simple. You can't get meaning just from following rules. No matter how complex it gets, a program can never, ever truly be a mind.
Now, you have to understand, this wasn't just some polite academic disagreement. Oh no. The debate between Searle and Dennett got personal. It became a deeply bitter feud that lasted for pretty much their entire careers.
And you can just feel the heat in their own words. Here's Dennett, acknowledging how Searle saw his work, writing that Searle viewed his position as a form of intellectual pathology. And then he adds, "No one should be surprised to learn that the feeling is mutual." Ouch.
And Searle didn't pull any punches either. He said he regarded Dennett's denial of consciousness not as a serious possibility, but, you guessed it, as a form of intellectual pathology. They both genuinely believed the other person wasn't just wrong, but that their thinking was fundamentally broken.
So why does any of this matter? Why should we care about this philosophical clash? Well, because it gets right to the heart of what it means to be human, and it has huge implications for things like artificial intelligence. I mean, can we ever build a truly conscious machine? The answer depends entirely on who you think won this debate.
The whole feud, all of it, really boils down to this one fundamental question. See, science is built on objective third-person observation, looking at things from the outside. But your consciousness, your qualia, that's a subjective first-person reality. It's an inside job. So can the tools of science ever truly capture the essence of what's going on inside your head?
So what do you think? Is that pinch you felt earlier a tiny piece of a private, subjective reality that science might never fully grasp? Or is that feeling and your entire inner world just the greatest, most convincing illusion your brain has ever created? The debate is still raging.